For months now, the sudden and chilling disappearance of Lynette Wise has been the dark cloud hanging heavily over the manicured lawns of Fairmont Crest. Everyone in town, from the local authorities to the gossip mongers sipping champagne at the country club, has naturally assumed the absolute worst. The prevailing narrative has been that Lynette was violently kidnapped, swept away into the terrifying abyss of the red market, or perhaps even murdered to keep her silent. Bradley Smitty Smith is currently pouring his heart and soul into a hard-hitting investigative journalism piece focusing on Lynette and the disgraced former Chief of Staff, Dr. Leah Whitmore. We all know that Leah was heavily involved in the horrific plasma ring that rocked Garland Memorial Hospital, but the connection between Leah and Lynette has always felt like a complex puzzle with several crucial missing pieces. We have been led to believe that Lynette was simply a tragic, helpless victim in this grand, sweeping criminal enterprise. But what if we have been looking at this situation entirely wrong? What if the narrative of the helpless victim is nothing more than a brilliantly constructed smokescreen designed to fool the police and the public? Recently, we received the jaw-dropping revelation that the Impaler, the ruthless, faceless leader of the International Plasma Ring, is none other than Heather Armstrong, Joey Armstrong's very own sister. Heather operates in the deepest, most dangerous shadows, running a global syndicate from London with a level of precision and ruthlessness that makes even her hardened, casino-owning brother look like an absolute amateur. Heather is a phantom, a woman of many dark mysteries, and any unexpected twist is entirely possible when it comes to her sprawling operation. Her own brother doesn't even know the full extent of her whereabouts or her daily activities. My theory is that Lynette Wise was never kidnapped against her. Instead, I firmly believe that Lynette is alive, thriving, and operating as Heather Armstrong's closest, most trusted. Think about the sheer tactical brilliance of this potential. By staging her own violent disappearance, Lynette completely removed herself from the chessboard of Fairmont Crest, allowing her to operate invisibly without arousing any suspicion. If she is indeed working directly for Heather, she would be the perfect set of eyes and ears on the ground. Lynette knows the major players. She understands the town's intricate social dynamics, and she has the exact kind of unassuming background that makes for the perfect undercover operative in an international crime syndicate. If Lynette is Heather's top lieutenant, her primary mission right now would undoubtedly be to monitor every single move made by Jacob Hawthorne and Joey Armstrong. Let us break this down carefully. Jacob is currently consumed by a reckless, dangerous obsession to take down the Impaler and avenge the tragic death of his best friend, Derek Baldwin. Jacob's immense grief and survivor's guilt have pushed him to the absolute brink, making him a massive, unpredictable threat to Heather's operation. He is pushing away his wife, Naomi, and even considering highly dangerous undercover assignments in state prisons. If Lynette is secretly watching Jacob, she is feeding Heather real-time intelligence on the police department's every move, keeping the plasma ring 10 steps ahead of the law at all times. So this makes me wonder just how much danger Jacob is truly in right now. He believes he is the apex hunter, meticulously tracking down leads like David Azarian and planning off-the-books interrogations of Dr. Leah Whitmore during her upcoming police transfer. But if Lynette is observing him from the shadows, Jacob is actually the prey walking blindly into a snare. Every rogue move he makes is being documented and analyzed by Heather's syndicate. The tragic irony is palpable. Jacob is destroying his mental health and fracturing his marriage to Naomi to solve a case that might already be rigged against him by a ghost he believes is a victim needing justice. Then there is the ever-arrogant Joey Armstrong. Joey recently had a tense face-to-face meeting with his sister, where he flatly rejected her offer of a criminal partnership. Joey thinks he has safely washed his hands of the Impaler's dirty business, choosing instead to focus on his casino, his blossoming romance with Vanessa McBride, and dealing with the psychological warfare currently being waged against him by a vengeful Deanna McBride. But Heather is not the type of woman to take no for an answer and simply walk away gracefully. If Lynette is stationed as Heather's elite spy, she is definitely keeping incredibly close tabs on Joey. Heather needs to know if her brother will become a liability, or if he can be manipulated or blackmailed into joining her empire later. Joey thinks he is the smartest man in the room, but he is completely ignorant of Heather's true reach. But that's not all. We have to look back at the massive hospital fraud involving Dr. Leah Whitmore. We know Leah blackmailed Grayson Perez and facilitated the theft of plasma from Leslie Thomas's free clinic. But who truly masterminded this intricate, highly profitable local operation? I highly suspect that Heather was the grand architect behind all the major fraud cases in Fairmont Crest, and she used Lynette to recruit, manage, and ultimately dispose of Leah. Leah Aswood thought she was a big, powerful player in the hospital hierarchy, but she was likely just an expendable middle manager in Heather's vast organization. Lynette, operating right under everyone's noses before her disappearance, could have been the one pulling Leah's strings, ensuring the red market flowed smoothly from Garland Memorial straight into Heather's international coffers. This brings us to the most deliciously dramatic part of this entire theory. Haley Hamilton. Oh, Haley. The manipulative gold-digging wife who is currently slowly poisoning her husband, Bill Hamilton, to collect a massive $10 million life insurance payout. Haley thinks she is an untouchable criminal mastermind. She and her sleazy cousin, Randy Parker, have been plotting and scheming in the shadows for months. But there is a crucial, terrifying detail that we cannot ignore. In a recent conversation with Randy, Haley smugly stated that he dodged a bullet thanks to Lynette Wise. This seemingly throwaway line is a massive, glaring red flag. It heavily implies that Haley knows something specific about Lynette's disappearance, or at the very least, that Haley and Lynette shared a highly significant, secretive history before Lynette vanished into thin air. We all know Haley has a notoriously loose tongue when she feels confident and untouchable. What if, in her arrogant past, Haley spilled far too many of her dark secrets to Lynette? What if Haley confessed her early, sinister plans to con Bill or revealed the depths of her and Randy's illicit activities? If the truth is that Lynette is an elite operative for the Impaler, this reality would absolutely terrify Haley to her core. Imagine the sheer, unadulterated horror dawning on Haley's face when she realizes that the woman she thought was either dead or a weak, silenced victim is actually a high-ranking member of a ruthless international crime syndicate. Lynette holds all of Haley's darkest secrets. If Heather ever needs financial leverage over Bill Hamilton's vast wealth, or if she simply wants to blackmail Haley into facilitating money laundering through Bill's law firm accounts, Lynette has the exact ammunition needed to destroy Haley's life. Haley's entire meticulously planned poison plot could be derailed in an instant if Lynette decides to step out of the shadows and play her winning hand. Let us explore the various thrilling possibilities for Lynette's current fate, because in the dramatic world of Beyond the Gates, nothing is ever simple or black and white. Possibility number 1. Lynette is a completely willing, enthusiastic, and loyal servant to Heather. She saw the immense wealth and unchecked power of the red market and eagerly faked her own kidnapping to join the winning team. In this scenario, Lynette will return to Fairmont Crest as a cold, calculating, and stylish villain ready to execute Heather's orders without an ounce of mercy. She will be the ultimate, untouchable antagonist for Smitty's journalistic crusade, laughing in the face of his exposés. Possibility number 2. Lynette was originally kidnapped against her will, violently ripped from her life, but over the grueling months of captivity, she suffered from a severe case of Stockholm Syndrome, or was ruthlessly brainwashed by Heather's psychological tactics. Heather is clearly a master manipulator who knows how to break people down. Perhaps she shattered Lynette's psyche and rebuilt her into the perfect, obedient, emotionless spy. If this is true, there might still be a tiny glimmer of the old, innocent Lynette buried deep inside, setting the stage for a highly dramatic redemption arc, where Jacob or Smitty manages to break through her conditioning just in time to save the town from total ruin. Possibility number 3, and perhaps the most thrilling and complex of all. What if Lynette is secretly planning to overthrow Heather from within? What if Lynette is playing an incredibly dangerous, high-stakes double game, working outwardly as Heather's loyal spy while secretly gathering enough concrete evidence to take down the entire international syndicate from the inside out? Lynette could be the ultimate unsung hero of Fairmont Crest, sacrificing her own reputation, safety, and freedom to dismantle the red market. If she is secretly the mastermind behind the exposure of Leah Whitmore, intentionally leaving a breadcrumb trail for the police. It would completely recontextualize her entire disappearance. I must admit, on a deeply personal level, I am absolutely rooting for this international spy storyline to be true. I have grown so incredibly tired of Haley's smug, arrogant attitude as she parades around the country club in designer clothes, faking deep concern for Bill while secretly mixing toxic serum into his drinks. The thought of Lynette returning to town, dressed to the nines, backed by the infinite power and resources of the Impaler, and striking absolute, paralyzing terror into Haley's heart brings me immense joy. I want to see Haley squirm. I want to see her realize that there are apex predators in this world far more dangerous and intelligent than a gold-digging wife with a vial of... Furthermore, the shifting dynamic between Heather and Joey is ripe for incredible dramatic exploration. Joey has always fancied himself the dark, dangerous sheep of the family, the untouchable casino owner with deep mob ties. But Heather has completely eclipsed him on a global scale. If Lynette reveals herself as Heather's spy, it will be the ultimate crushing humiliation for Joey, proving unequivocally that his sister has eyes inside his own house, his own casino, and his own town. Deanna McBride is already executing a masterclass in psychological torture against Joey to avenge her father, Doug, using his favorite wines and lapel pins to drive him mad. If Joey is fighting a brutal war on two fronts, Deanna slowly destroying him from within, and Heather and Lynette monitoring him from the outside, his criminal empire is guaranteed to crumble into dust. As we eagerly await the upcoming episodes, the burning questions continue to pile up higher and higher. Will Smitty's upcoming investigative article inadvertently blow Lynette's deep cover, forcing her to take drastic, violent action against the beloved journalist to protect the syndicate? Will Jacob's relentless, grief-fueled pursuit of David Azarian lead him straight into a deadly, inescapable trap meticulously set by Lynette and Heather? And when will Bill Hamilton finally realize that the true danger to his life isn't the stress of his high-powered law firm or his complicated, unresolved feelings for his ex-wife Danny, but the lethal, slow-acting serum his current wife is slipping into his daily routine? The tension in the air is palpable, and the stakes for our favorite characters have never been higher. Fairmont Crest is currently sitting on a massive, ticking powder keg of secrets, and I firmly believe that Lynette Wise is the one holding the match. Let me know your thoughts, wildest theories, and predictions as we continue to watch this incredible, heart-stopping drama unfold.